One thing that I find fascinating about the culture around internet cancellation is that it runs fundamentally on the psychological principle that you are not who you are truly as a person. You are who we decided you are based on screenshots taken out of context and photos edited to make you look bad, and you can never ever become anyone else in your lifetime. You will never again be redeemed in the eyes of the internet because these screenshots from your Facebook from when you were 16, 17, and 18 are a permanent representation of who you are. That's just an incredible thing because as much as you are well aware that the people who truly know you outside of a screen are aware that you are kind and that your actions on a day-to-day basis are objectively good. Internet branding, it's like a fourth degree burn. They don't want it to go away. It's not just a temporary scab. It has to be permanent scarring. Once someone on the internet is finally cast into a negative light, as many people have long awaited secretly, the vast majority who themselves are simply very young and prone to just going along mass behavior will attempt to cast that light for as long as it could possibly last beyond any reasonable frame of time. And that is because to collectively remove a person from their right to being perceived as human, even if just on the internet, gives people an exhilarating sense of perceived power in themselves. It shifts the power dynamic between the audience and the creator from being limited solely to spectating the success of somebody else into being an actual determinant in that person's trajectory towards success moving forward. Altogether, it's driven by this totalitarian, sadistic lust for power, which the collective whole, who are on the most part just children and teenagers, cannot enact in their lived reality, but can abuse to the farthest of extents on the internet. And that is why the hypothetical person being put in the center stage of it all, that is the creator in question, isn't generally at all fazed by what's going on with their image and what's being made of it on the internet, because they recognize that it is a sole projection of what people have always wished for them to be, a bad person, and therefore a justifiable reason of their own hatred. And it's also easily understandable when you recognize who doesn't love a little bit of power, and how few people in the world wouldn't take the chance once given a vessel for which to project their insecurity. Because to these people, these children, the abuse of internet anonymity is power. But overall, at the end of the day, it's not any real kind of power that will enact any real kind of change that you want it to in the lived reality of an existing human being who you can only know to the extent that your screen allows for you to. But the internet as it is now does not allow for people to ever again be perceived as kind and good or intelligent and nice, just nice, if they have decided that they can't be anymore. And that's so fascinating. I wish we talked about that more. People believe what they decide to believe about a person on the internet conclusively and never change that opinion again, because that would mean a loss of power. For as long as people can convince themselves that they have any kind of power over someone who is perceived to be powerful, they will keep going to reinforce that equilibrium of hate, because it's easier than to believe that the person is just a person. To ultimately believe that they are fighting for a good moral cause through more bullying, more hatred, allows for them to sleep at night with the awareness that they are continuously and decidedly harassing somebody on the internet with the hopes that they burn and die. Bye bye.